Don in London, hello and good morning. It's August 1st, 2009. Pinch punch, first day of the month, we used to say as kids. Still don't know what it means. Anyway, yes, 1st of August 2009, around about 10:30. I'm late doing my video. I had a few little chores to do, like watch some television, and it was a good thing to do. Anyway, my videos are all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. And this morning I feel fairly happy in my head. How am I feeling? Why? What can I do? I'm feeling, how am I feeling? At peace, peaceful. And, after many years of turmoil, trying to be the person you wanted me to be, and trying to do this, that and the other to please others, I'm starting to learn what it's like to be me, and just be alive and reasonably okay today. So that's the gift of recovery for me, from addiction to alcohol in my case, and behaviours all over the place. I would work as hard as you asked me to, and more, to be as perfect as I possibly could. And it was a revelation to me that sometimes we can do as much as we can, and it still won't be good enough for some people. And those people tend to be manipulative and controlling. So what have I learned in recovery? It's okay to be me, one day at a time. And that, a lifetime ago is yesterday, and a lifetime ahead is just for today. And the future, I cannot predict it. I don't know that it's any of my business right now, because I don't know what tomorrow will be like until today has happened, and we go with what goes well. Go with the flow, bend like the Tibetan rose on the mountainside, or we snap and break as the wind comes in. So there's no point in holding fast to things which are of no use to us. And addiction was the biggest one for me. Drinking for pleasure, conviviality, joviality, and in the end, abject misery. And I didn't know where I was for a long time, really. So the gift is, these days, I get to know a bit more about me and other people. What helps me most? Family, community, society, and a fellowship called Alcoholics Anonymous. And as I say always, I don't speak for the fellowship of AA, I speak for me. AA is full of unique, authentic people who can speak as they choose and where they choose. And my choice is to share a message of experience, strength and hope and recovery. Just me and what's working for me. So I've been to meetings most days this week, and a new month, I'm going to turn another year older. But, I turn another day older every single 24-hour period. What's the difference? Well, I'm probably more with it at the moment, and not stuck in a rut, not stuck in some sort of malady. I've moved from a problem to a solution. So Alcoholics Anonymous is absolutely intrinsic to my way of life. It gives me experience, strength and hope to understand my spiritual, emotional and physical well-being. And at the beginning of every meeting, a preamble is shared, or a statement of intent. So I'll share it here. So if you ever have a need to check out a meeting of AA, this is what you'll hear when you go in for the first time. Yes, we'll see. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And I guess in that final sentence, primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety is about giving it away to keep well ourselves. So, fellowship's about equal status, and no one's bigger or smaller than anybody else, and we all have a point of view. So that's why I can't share about other people in AA, and also it's anonymity. So anonymity for me is the freedom to find out who I am, and meetings provide me with sanctuary to find out who I am without necessarily being judged or put in the spotlight by the rest of the world. And once I understand who I am, I can get to a spiritual connection, which I think and feel mostly is truth in the moment of now. So spiritual is just being able to see reality. And last night's meeting was all about the promises of what the future can be like if we get into recovery, or as we are in recovery. And it's promises often beyond our wildest dreams. Our wildest dreams in the past were far-fetched and fantasy, probably, and my dreams today are just the dreams I had last night, and they were quite good when I was sleeping. And today I'm in reality as much as possible. So without denials and filters, it is beyond my wildest dreams to be sober today, and that's the gift. And what helps me also when I can't get to meetings, and by the way, thank you for those remarks from a lot of people actually yesterday for some reason, but it's great, and there are thousands of websites I've now found out all about recovery, so I'm just one in many thousands. Here we go, August the 1st, in this book, Daily Reflections, and it goes like this: living it. The spiritual life is not a theory, we have to live it. I guess I've just said that in my own words, but I must have got it from this book. When new in the programme, I couldn't comprehend living the spiritual aspect of the programme, but now that I am sober, I can comprehend living. I cannot comprehend living without it. Spirituality was what I had been seeking. God as I understand him, and don't forget when it says as I understand him, it's as you understand God, or good conscience, or your higher power, has given me answers to the wise and kept me. God, as I understand him, has given me answers to the whys that kept me drinking for 20 years, or in my case, about 35 years. It's not a competition, it's just a bit of sadness there. It took me so long to understand what was wrong with me, on one level. By living a spiritual life, by asking God or good conscience for help, I have learned to love, care and feel compassion for all my fellow men, and to feel joy in the world where, before, I only felt fear. And this is about step 8 really, becoming willing to look at our defects and what we did, and make a list of people we harmed, and become willing to make amends as best we can. So living it is the spiritual path, and we don't know what's around the corner. Nobody ever said that serenity is happiness or joy, or no, serenity is all that we can see in reality, whether it's good, bad, indifferent. And if we can cherish the memory and the understanding of where we are today, we're onto a better basis, if you like, for living. And on page 164, a saving principle, as Bill sees it, this book, and I have got time for this. The practice of admitting one's defects to another person is, of course, very ancient. It has been validated in every century, and it characterises the lives of all spiritually centred and truly religious people, and, for me, truly spiritual people, because we do need an inventory to see how we're doing. But today, religion is by no means the sole advocate of this saving principle. Psychiatrists and psychologists point out the deep need every human being has for practical insight and knowledge of his own personality flaws, and for a discussion of them with an understanding and trustworthy person. So far as alcoholics are concerned, AA would go even further. Most of us would declare that without a fearless admission of our defects to another human being, we could not stay sober. It seems plain that the grace of God, and good conscience for me, will not enter to expel our destructive obsessions until we are willing to try this. And the gift in that is willing to try. And the saving principle of, I reckon, confessing up, looking in the mirror, saying, Don, what have you done today, which is good or bad, or indifferent, or have you followed your spiritual path? Have you understood your feelings during the day? Have you hurt other people's feelings? And what is it all about? So there is that question in my mind all the time, and I think it's a good thing. Anyway, it's 9 minutes and 13 seconds. So, August is about step 8, making a list of people we have harmed and being willing to make amends. And I'll cover that as we go. Funny, the list keeps changing nearly every day when I start to dig. So it's a never-ending story with me. But the never-ending story is, recovery is one day long. One day only. That's all it is, 24 hours. So with the serenity prayer as part of my toolkit, which is to God, good conscience, or your higher power, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today.